All right, next up we have Justin Smith and Dr. Hitesh Vora, who are going to be talking about the Great Plains Center of Excellence and General Center of Excellence initiatives. So Justin, I'll hand it over to you.
Hello again. I think I'm having to hold this mic a lot today. Okay, so I'm going to get started with talking about the Centers of Excellence, but also going to back up a little bit and just tell you about a little bit of what's happening in the Industrial Training and Assessment Center network to set the stage for Hitesh. Okay, so we're experiencing unprecedented growth right now in the network. Unsurprisingly for most of you, largely due to the bipartisan infrastructure law. There's a little tiny clipping of it there. It's gigantic, but within that, many different things that it funds. I'm going to talk about three today. The first one are our expansion centers, which are taking the ITAC program and bringing it to community colleges, union training programs, and trade schools. I'm also going to talk about the implementation grants, which you've heard a few people talk about over the last, for an hour, like about 6 hours or so. And then finally, I'm going to talk a little about what the Centers of Excellence are meant to do. Well, the United States is missing from this map, but behind it there should be a United States here. Okay, so this is round one of our expansion centers. So again, this is taking the ITAC model, which has traditionally been for four-year universities, and bringing it to community colleges, trade schools, and union training programs. And so you can see here is that we have 16 new expansion awards within our first round. So that was the rounds that were launched basically this summer, but fiscal year 24. And those are all the little blue dots there. And I'm just going to kind of highlight a couple of them. So Wichita State it has plans to enroll 300 students over the next 3 years. Industrial Automation Systems Climate and Energy Program. They're going to do at least 90-60 students from Justice 40 census tracts. So Justice 40 and ensuring that the benefits of this program accrue to those who have not been first in line before is a huge part of it. And then they're going to be providing continuing education workshops for small and medium-sized manufacturers. So there was a question a while ago that was, well, what do we do about our workforce now and without waiting for the next generation of workforce? Some of these programs actually can help with that because they do some incumbent worker training to upskill current workforce. Another one, this is a union program, which the Insulation Industry International Apprenticeship and Training Fund, ITAC, because that's slightly faster to say. So they are a mechanical insulation union already, and they basically are taking one of these grants to expand their energy assessments for mechanical insulation programs. They're going to train 140 individuals and conduct 60 manufacturer assessments over the next 3 years. So just to kind of give an idea of what these expansion centers do, because you're probably a little bit more familiar with the traditional four-year ITACs. So just to go into a little bit more detail here, so these expansion centers have a much wider variety of different types of technical assistance they can provide. So within like Hitesh's ITAC, they're going in and doing energy assessments. Well, now we're expanding that to say you can do things like short-term credentials, like I mentioned before, no-cost or low-cost testing, adjusting and balancing services, things along those lines. And then their training also doesn't have to be specifically energy engineering. We're also branching out. Battery's fine. Branching out to be able to do things like skilled trades, stuff like that. But what we are requiring here is that the jobs are in demand and that they are providing evidence of good quality jobs. So I was just asking about the last panel about employers. They were all employers and whether or not they had any partnerships with kind of educational institutions. We're looking for those sort of things when people are applying for these sort of grants. We want them to be actually partnering with at least a few employers in their region so that we know that we're training people for jobs that are actually needed and that they're going to be employed and that they're going to be good quality jobs and not just, well, the kind of field of dreams style. We're going to train them and we hope that it works out. Okay, so moving on to the second topic here kind of within our expansion are these implementation grants. So this is $80 million of funding, federal funding, for small and medium-sized manufacturers to implement recommendations that their ITACs have recommended to them. So essentially kind of the background here is the ITACs provide these wonderful reports for their manufacturers with a list of all these recommendations. Most of them are usually cost positive, like these are great things to do, and unfortunately, not all of them actually happen. That's just the way that life is. One of the reasons why they might happen is because they might not have the capital up front to go actually implement these. So this is what these implementation grants come in. So it's $300,000 per grant. So this is actually a change. It used to be $300,000 per assessment. Now it's per recommendation. So one manufacturer can come do a couple of these over the course of a year. So that's a really big change. These are ranked quarterly, and there's a 50% cost share, so they can go up to a $600,000 project as long as they are providing the other $300,000. So please tell everyone you know about these grants, because we want lots and lots of applications, because we want to run through this money with tons of really, really effective projects. I'm going to go into a little more detail in the next slide here on these grants. So we actually, within implementation grants, we actually have two work streams. So what I was just talking about is our first work stream. So this is the actual manufacturers apply, they get a grant. By the way, if anyone is used to working with the federal grants management process, this is different. This is done through a partnership intermediary called EnergyWorks. So the whole application is like 5 pages, I think, max. Like, it is very, very small from an application compared to what you're probably used to. And it's also much less grant management after the fact. It's still federal grants. There still is a little bit of paperwork to happen, but it's way, way easier. So anyway, these $300,000 grants can do things like improving energy efficiency, improving cybersecurity, improving productivity, reducing site waste production, reducing GHG or non-GHG pollution. So those are the sort of things that can happen with these grants. They are limited to small and mid-sized manufacturers, but other than that, please tell every small mid-sized manufacturer that you know that they should go apply for this, and if they don't know what to do, then direct them to the Center of Excellence, who can get them the report. Okay, so here's the other work stream, which might be interesting to a few of you here. So within this grant process, so work stream 1 is actually manufacturers applying for these grants. The second work stream are other entities getting qualified to be able to do the assessments that qualify for these grants. So if you have a energy efficiency business on your own and you provide no cost or low cost assessments, you can get qualified as a third-party assessor that can make the recommendations that then get qualified for these grants. Examples of those include on-site energy tap assessments, for those familiar with the program. We got on-site tap, HARP is here. So yeah, that's another part of the expansion within the implementation grants. Okay, finally, so I really want to talk about the ITAC program, but the other part of going through all that is to kind of showcase all the different expansions within the network and why we need centers of excellence. So this is the last part of my presentation before I turn it back over to Hitesh. So what are centers of excellence here to do? Number one, they are increasing the impacts of our ITACs within the region. So the Great Plains Center of Excellence has a region, and they're basically looking at all of the centers that are operating within that region and helping support really good operations within there, right? So if everyone is having a specific problem within the region, the Center of Excellence can go and help with that. One of the things that I think the Great Plains Center of Excellence does a wonderful job with is bringing together all of the stakeholders. So this conference is a great example of how the Great Plains Center of Excellence does a great job with that. And one of the things that I would love to see get extrapolated to many of the other regions. The other thing that we want these centers of excellence to do is to increase the impact of the ITAC network nationally. And so a lot of them have certain types of programs they're doing to expand and research, how we do assessments or things along those lines. And I'll go into a couple examples of that in the last slide. Okay, so these are our 5 centers of excellence. So we have the Gulf Coast Center of Excellence, which is at Texas A&M. We have the Western Center of Excellence, which is at San Francisco State University. We have the Southeastern Center of Excellence at Georgia Tech. We have the Great Plains Center of Excellence. And then we have the Mid-Atlantic Center of Excellence, which is at Lehigh. This is just an example of some of the projects that they're doing, just to kind of give a little bit more flavor to what this looks like. So the Gulf Coast Center of Excellence is developing new tools and processes. They're enhancing some data collection, doing things like smart sensors for compressed air with like a low cost, basically like a Raspberry Pi type computing unit. The Western Center of Excellence is doing things like, I like this example, materials for small and mid-sized manufacturers to help with things that they might have concerns about. So for example, going into one of their plants and making sure that they know that all of the students coming in are going to be safe, right? And they're not going to provide any liability requirements for them. Georgia Tech has a lot of like networking going on. They also have this thing that they call the SME for SMMs. So providing kind of this expert level of assistance for the manufacturers. They kind of have a trusted source that they can go to. OSU, I will highlight this conference as a great example of what the Great Plains Center of Excellence is doing in bringing stakeholders together. And then Lehigh University with our Mid-Atlantic, they are developing some new degree programs, especially for non-engineering backgrounds. So it's kind of what we were talking about very early on in the day, of like kind of reducing that barrier of what an engineer is versus not, and being able to make the content of this sort of work a little bit more applicable without necessarily an engineering degree. So that's a large kind of idea of what some of our centers of excellence is doing. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Vora, who's going to talk a little bit more about the Great Plains Center of Excellence.
And coordination. Okay. My graphics are also a little different. Everything's a map. Thank you, Justin, for giving the concept about ITAC. Some of you guys know IAC, right? Very famous name. We recently changed that name, put a D in it, to become ITAC. And we emphasizing on training. That's why the Industrial Assessment Center became Industrial Training and Assessment Center. So maybe some of you guys are confused about ITAC and IAC, that this recent change on that. So here is a selection of IACs, expansion IACs, and Center of Excellence and other stuff. Right? There are some of the first session of IAC, the expansion center, is some of the names I'm just putting here, just to give you an idea that who are in our region, who are actually the ITACs. Right? So Hitesh Community College is one of them. Southwest Wisconsin Technical College is one of them. Wichita State University basically become building training assessment center. So commercial building related trainings actually they are building on at Wichita State Universities. University of Wisconsin Milwaukee become like a BTech program as well. Insulation Industry International Apprentice and Training Fund, that's a very nice organization building lots of other training apprenticeship programs. So we are communicating with them. This is a round two. Arkansas State University, I think we have some representations from other ITACs as well. Iowa Lakes Community College, Northeast Community College, Tulsa Community College, I have Sheila and like lots of folks from the TCC. So thank you for being here. I think you are part of our Center of Excellence. University of Arkansas, Pulaski Technical College, and University of Wisconsin Milwaukee basically become ISC consortium program. This is the one of the kind, I guess, is hub for many things on that. So going back to our Center of Excellence and what the ask. And when you put a proposal, you put several things. Obviously, my friends here, my stakeholders, my partners, without you, I cannot able to put forward my ideas on that. Right? So our main key thrust here is advancing the ISC delivery assessment ecosystem in terms of remote and virtual assessment tools. And I will give you some slides here just to show you what efforts we already put, what efforts we are in a place, and bigger vision to have some of these tools available within the 5 years. And some of you guys will actually test our technology and giving us an idea that this tool is working good or not. Right? And then we keep improving and it's available for future for everyone. Right? So few things is mobile app and virtual reality platform. Majority of the times people go and say example walkthrough assessment. There are lots of categories like ASHRAE level, if you say level 1, level 2, level 3 assessment. The level 1 generally just you go on the site, walk through and see what's going on. Level 2, you go a little bit more details. Level 3 is even more details and analyzing and give them idea. That's traditionally people do that. Nowadays with the time, if I'm bringing like 6 students to the site, safety is a concern, liability is a concern, time is a concern. And if I consider about 13 states I need to go, right? It's too much travel times and other stuff. Sometimes some facility has chemicals related issues, some safety related issues, some maybe I heard from Danzi about defense, right? Like UOD, maybe you are not allowed to go to the site as well. Right? There are lots of things in that. So there are also issues related to location, you can say cost, time, accuracy, data collection. Some of the traditional energy audit process will work well, but then you need some advanced technology to do some more stuff, which is basically how the world goes. You heard from different panels that artificial intelligence, machine learning, right, is a new areas. And the new kids, the new generation is actually using that very often. They are video gamers, they know exactly how to do some of the stuff. So, how we can engage that talent? They already have that existing knowledge. I think I went to computer class to learn how to run computer. And my 6-year-old kid know how to save the file, where is the cloud, everything, without any knowledge, anything like that. And so the world is changing. You have to come up with something which is helpful for you. So we developed something called a smart remote assessment app. This app is under development right now. We have several things which is very awesome at this point. I will show you some of the features. One of them will I can get. We made something called, this app has 2 versions. One is a self-assessment tool. So, for example, client doesn't know they want to do the audit or not. They don't know what is going out. We just sending out this app. They build it themselves. They make this app themselves, like the data collection process and everything. Most often what happens is the client doesn't know exactly where is the wrong. Where, like they have maybe a list of equipments in the site, so they just put that. Machine learning, artificial intelligence tell them that this is the saving opportunities, can do that. You can say top 10 recommendation on HVAC, maybe say boiler, maybe say lights. It just give you the list, not the list. You just select some of them and then it will actually automatically calculate. You don't even need an engineer to do any of that stuff. It's a self-assessment. So client can assess anything on that. Excellent recruiting tool. In this example, they've done something and they said, okay, what to do next after that? So the tool will tell you that you need to reach out to the next ISC somewhere in your region. And it automatically gives you the list of, say example, nearby ITAC expansion center, community college or university or even on-site program or something. And you can get that ecosystem related to that. So that also basically the features on that. However, energy auditor can definitely use that and create the account for the client itself. Some of the features here in energy auditor tool has more in-depth calculations where you can use the data from the science and some other analysis you can add on. The app can help you with that. Some of the feature here is a user-friendly version of it because Professor likes Excel spreadsheet. They make lots of complication calculation on the Excel spreadsheet, but again, somebody touch, some other person touch it and nothing works out. Right? And that's something where we need to remove, and we want to create some artificial intelligence in the back where it becomes a user-friendly version. Some of the other feature is built-in energy profiler, so you can see how it works in a month, a year, or maybe 5 years, how the profile looks like. So you can create your own benchmark to create that. Build the model of your plant so that you know how it works. Lots of suggestion comes from AI, machine learning side of it. You can create a what-if scenario. So if you want to change this HP motor to that, or maybe you can add some solar panels to that, whatever it is, like you can give you the scenario-based suggestions so that you can make a right decision based on the economics comes out. Also, standardizing the energy saving calculations. As I will say, one of the drawback in our industry is that everybody does the calculation themselves. They feel like their calculation is the best calculation, right? How we standardize that? Right? There is nothing, right? The physics remain the same, science remain the same. I cannot change that, right? Calculation remain the same. Should number comes right. So we are actually standardizing the way of doing the calculation. We show which equation to use, which table to follow, and everybody learn on that, right? So even though it's an energy auditor tool, it's become a training tool for energy auditor as well, saying that this is the standard we follow. Currently, at this stage, we are not having any ISO standard for the energy audit, right? We don't have that, and we need to create some premises for that. I think the very most important part is automatic report production. I think everybody knows ChatGPT, right? You can search for something come out. But if you control that machine learning in a much more better panel and then create the models out of it, you can create a report. For example, I want to write IEC implementation grant. Just one click of a button, what was the suggestion I said, create the report. If I want to create a report for USGA, RIP grant, I can do that. Or I can make the report for a finance person. Say, okay, just give me the number based on the finance. I can create that. Or I need to create a memo for my maintenance person saying, this is what you need to do. Just a click of a button, you can create different reports. So the information remains the same, but the output can be changed. That's basically this app can do. Lots of virtual reality models based on, I think we saw from the application, I think John did an awesome job in the lunch keynote, talking about smart application technologies. He showed some of the technologies to use as a VR model. There are many things you can do and assess the facilities, right? That's also the one of the easy way to go. And many of the things like instruction lessons, there is a question mark or the light bulb in each accommodation. You click it as a small video for 1 minute, 2 minutes, show how the HVAC works. Maybe a non-engineer can become an HVAC auditor and tell you what it is, right? So the app is basically a platform for that. Lots of provide information on knowledge sharing. And at the end, if you do this job, I can use this app as a professional development certificate as well. If somebody knows the whole process, or even the certificate process we are creating, maybe this app is basically a tool or calculator for me to utilize properly. Right? So that's some of the features. I think that's what I feel like the backbone for creating a smart curriculum for clean energy workforce. So I have a demo version to show you.
Welcome to Smart Remote Assessment, the app where users can assess their current energy usage, find ways to save money, and earn energy certificates. After creating an account, the user will respond to questions about themselves, their company, and their energy usage. There are 4 sections for the user to enter data: company information, product and production, utility rates, current energy infrastructure. Under company information, the user will fill out the name and address of the plant, their SIC code, and the information of their main contact person. The product and production section is where clients can input their principal product, their working hours, gross revenue, and more. Users can enter information from their utility bills, so Smart Remote Assessment app can calculate their energy savings automatically. They can also upload images of their utility bills. Lastly, clients will have the opportunity to add the list of equipment used in their facilities, along with the energy consumption details such as horsepower and energy demand. This information will be used to create energy recommendations. As the user completes all the sections, their energy dashboard is created. This is the energy dashboard. The dashboard provides a quick overview of their current utility consumption, energy saving recommendations, and current utility rates. Let's look at the utility consumption section. Here, the user can see their utility bill broken down by price, as well as how many units of electricity, natural gas, potable water, and wastewater used. Also on the home page, clients can go to the energy assessment section to update their equipment list to ensure recommendations are up to date. An overview of energy recommendations made by Smart Remote Assessment will be shown here. Once clicked, users will be taken to the recommendation page. Here is a list of recommendations, as well as potential savings from implementing them. Users can click on recommendations, see a summary, emission reductions, energy savings, and other information like implementation cost, the payback period, and annual savings. Users can create an implementation plan and sort recommendations by all, planned, in progress, implemented, and cannot implement at this time. Utility rates and their providers are displayed in this section. The client's participation in energy conservation will be rewarded with certificates. This is located under the Certificates tab on the home page. Now on to the Report tab. Users can generate a report by selecting the recommendations they would like to include. We are in the early stage of development, but you see, we have made significant progress and are well positioned to add functionality to this base design. We'll be furthering the design, development, and testing of the app in the coming months, and will be feedback to enhance the functionality of the app. Once completed, this app will help clients and auditors in all locations reach a shared goal of energy efficiency and conservation.
And this tool is also designed specifically for ITAC expansion, so like the new technical colleges or the new K-12 programs or something like that. Even the non-engineer can able to have that. What we need in the first hook is like how we connect them to the energy portfolio, right? Very first thing is to attract them. If we ask them to throw in equation, like I'm a professor, like I know, like it's very easy to show equation, show like how integration happens and something like that. But if we can engage them and show like you can make impact, maybe some of this app maybe use at home and just say how much you can save and show it to the parent. Maybe a parent can be a mentor to run through that, right? Just to find simple stuff initial stage. That's how the energy mindset will be. And in future, maybe they will want to go to the college where they want to learn something, right? Technical college. I'm from OSU, I know 4-year engineering program is very good, right? It's traditionally great like that, but some of these jobs we are creating, there is no job title at this point. Maybe a new jobs will be directly from technical college, more than happy to collect the data, collections I know. Right? So there are lots of things which we are planning and we are trying to expand on. Some of the things which we work as a tool number 2 here is a smart remote assessment via virtual reality as well. There are lots of things we are interacting here is like how we create a virtual interaction model for manufacturing side, water, wastewater, and create a library of these things, right? So example, if I have 10 to 15 companies, different diverse group, and if I have that virtual assessment available, that model available, I can walk them in a training point of view, showing them how to do the energy assessment, creating a lots of output as well. Right? I'll show you some of the things in the next slide. But the virtual observation and data collection, maybe a drone, maybe the LiDAR you saw from John Cuban's presentation, like he's wearing something LiDAR kind of a thing, you can collect the site data like that, or maybe a real estate point of view. You saw many houses where you have, like you stand there and you can see the 360 side of it. Maybe that kind of environment will be built and trained on. We can get you lots of stuff out of it, right? One other thing which we are simulating here is like, yes, once we get this 3-dimensional model, can I simulate something? I purposely create a problem in the site and puzzle the students or puzzle the whoever is taking the training and ask them, okay, can you find that thing, right? Maybe showing where the energy audits are, but at the same time, testing them, they are able to get that or not. That also one of the important curriculums we are developing. So the creating a curriculum, but creating a virtual curriculum is something which we are pushing on, and that's what we are building it at this point. Some of the items like energy treasure hunt, you can run that through your model. You can do many things on that. You can also create the model on, same model can be used for example, lubrication assessment, maybe a safety assessment, maybe hazard, OSHA, productivity. Same environment can be used not just for energy, but you can use it for many other things as well. So how we clean that library and sharing that to the National Clearinghouse, that's one of our thrust and one of our program goal, and within the 5 years we will create more than 10 models like that, fully developed curriculum which is around standalone. We are creating a train-the-trainer model where we certify a trainer first on this training. Later on, that trainer can use that curriculum, go to that 30 states which comes under us, and multiply our efforts, right? So we build the first of all capability and then multiplying that with the capacity. And that's what the goal, come out with the app development as well as virtual reality side. I'm going to show you some slides where, again, my slides doesn't show straight, but some of the items from that, you can see some of the tools we are developing which can be utilized to capture the running company. Maybe a 3-dimensional model is good, but I want a simulated model, like a dynamic, like things are moving on the floor. Even though you can go anytime, you can see how the manufacturing is happening. So for that, I might ask you, some of the clients, to help me with finding somebody who are okay to capture that, right? Sometimes like a copywriting, or maybe you have a nice product which you don't want to show off, right? I'm really thankful to Guernsey. I think they are our first client to give us a platform to create the facility as well. I will show you some slide on that. But we are utilizing lots of things for thermal, we are utilizing lots of things for chemical signatures, also the resiliency point of view. If they are in a flood zone, or there is a tornado came, or whatever it is, we are trying to utilize every single energy ecosystem to help that client or create that model so that we can train the next generation on that. Right? One important point I want to make here, this particular slide, is that there are more than 15, I will say, energy audit trainings available. Right? AWE is recently hosting something, and CEM, CEA, all this, most of this training is multiple choice exams. Right? You go 3 to 4 days, every day they will teach you some theory, and then 4th day, 5th day, whatever it is, you will get tested. And then you get a certificate if you pass it by 60, 75%, whatever it is. Right? However, what I feel is the multiple choice is not the solution. How we can add on a virtual reality model or the training where you get tested as well, and then you can add on. So we are currently partnered with AWE, where they are actually getting CEM training, but we are putting CEM plus training, which has a virtual reality model as an addition to that. Right? So you is as it is you have a CEM, but you can get CEM plus by getting into the virtual reality training and get to that. Right? So that's something which I feel, and I'm very generous that AWE National give us more than 226,000 in-kind support to facilitate some of these efforts in the future. Right? So that's what something you will see in some of the years from now, some of the efforts in that. So very first thing we've done here is a virtual reality model. Thank you, Guernsey, Ashish. Thank you so much for being the first customer, right? Who saying that, okay, utilize our facility, create a virtual model for that. So we built that model. I have a Brent here. Raise your hand, Brent. So we utilize an outsourced company called Trifecta Communication to help us on building this model, and that's basically we developed for this company. At 4 o'clock when we have a networking session, we have one booth to show you on virtual reality lens, and Brent will show you the demo in one of this booth here to show you that if you are interested to see some of our efforts in that terms. We also built something called Energy Treasure Hunt app, which is basically for the K-12. My friends here from K-12 STEM program actually utilize this app for many things. And really speaking, this is available at this point also. You can scan it and use it. This is designed for the students like middle school, high school kids, where they can scan different props. For example, a refrigerator, the door is open and then close it. What will be the savings out of it? Some knowledge-based kind of a thing, very low-level education, I will say, but still it's very impactful. Changing the lamp to LED lamps, or maybe changing the window HVAC systems or something like that, they can get some of the output. So there are some 5 to 10 different props available. They can do it in virtual reality as well, and then they can get output. And at the end, they get a junior engineer certificate as well. One of the side I will say, this cannot be possible just we work alone. Right? I think you saw lots of panel discussion about partnership and collaboration. So we want you into our team, some suggestions, some collaborations and partnership on that to make it happen. Now, I'm going to go a little bit deep into the industrial advisory board point of view. This particular program, there is 2 aspects of it. One is the technical aspect. I think we already saw, like we are building something, we are creating a community. The conference is one of our milestones where you guys are partnering here right now. That's one thing, but the other thing which we wanted really is to how the industrial partners can come together, create a board and partners on several activities going on. For example, like some workforce development activities or some technical development activities, they can collaborate together and tell us that, what do you need? One way you can tell us and we develop something, or you can even give a feedback back to the Department of Energy or some other state organ. saying this is not right, it's supposed to be this way, that way. And we can be a channel in between helping you, connecting the dots, saying, okay, what is the output you are looking for, right? That's what the industrial board vision is, that's what we propose. Again, going back to the 5 pillars, 6 pillars, this is what basically we want, is an advisory board. We have several people in the advisory board. We have, I'm just showing you very quickly, but we need some more of you guys to be a partner of the IB members. Some of the IB members, which is actually partnered with us, provided in-kind cost share commitments, has 5 years free membership on IB membership. The other partners for this conference, like Platinum and Gold sponsorship, will get 1 year free membership as well. But if you are not IB member at this point, please come and discuss with us. We'll find you the way how you become advisory board. We recently started IAB advisory board meetings. We also have some steering committees where individual topic like a solar or maybe some kind of a CHP or maybe some other connection to tribal, like whatever it is, in that manner. We created a different sharing groups. And I want partners to discuss and give us a feedback on that. And then we can actually help you with either the resources or where to find the resources. And that's what the goal of the Center of Excellence to be connecting the dots. We have, I think I'm showing you some slides of the key people who actually helped me while building the grants and other stuff, who contributed very well on that. So I have Dr. Rick Dudley, Jason Kursky and Raj Murthy basically from OSU helped me create the cost share commitments. We also have a Ham Institute, this wonderful facility. We got more than $459,000 to host events like this. We have office space here. We also have meeting rooms here which we can use throughout the 5 years, 24/7, whenever we need it. We also have a partner from SPEAR. Basically, it's a partnership for energy and efficiency and resources. They are contributing to that. They are 5 years IB members. We also have AEE from Nation, basically a 5 years member as well. We also have members from OSU IT, which is in Okmulgee, and you will see one of the panel after my discussion. I think Bob is here as well. They are basically a partnership with that. We have Hydrotex. You saw wonderful lunch keynote from John Cubins. I purposely choose that topic because majority of times we are going on HVAC and other stuff like that. We never thought about the simple stuff like lubrication. Simple stuff, one drop of lubrication will create so much of energy savings. Right? We are partnering right now on creating some of the goals related to energy efficiency assessment, same time doing the lubrication assessment. And I promise him to give him a platform to show more. He's a passionate teacher. I find myself being in his training and I love it. And I told him, like, why don't you be a professor? Right? I told him multiple times, why don't you come OSU, teach some more courses and everything. But he does an awesome job on that. And that's why he's a key member of that. And they are also contributing with the cost share. That's why they are 5 years IB members. Kerry, where is here? We have a wonderful utility companies in Oklahoma. We are blessed with some of the groups. One of the group is PSO, always available. They actually created lots of rebate programs. So, for example, we serve a client, we give them a list of assessed rate. They create a new rebate program where they can combine 2 or 3 together and get a drastic change. They can top up the, individually you get some incentives, but when you put all together, you get additional 20% rebates. So that's also PSO is doing a very nice job. We have APS group, we have Trifecta communication. Brent is helping me to create an app and virtual PRT site. Rather than he's asking me money, he's actually giving me money back as an in-kind cost structure also. So thank you, Brent, for helping changing this world. We have Garen, I think you saw his one of the panel discussion. He's also the IIP member. We have Dunsley, also a free IIP member for 5 years. They will progressed on their cost share commitments. We have Tulsa Community College. I saw Sheila, but I think she is not now. But we have a table from TCC. They are also the expansion center, so congratulations for being a new IAC expansion center. We will do more collaboration closely with you guys. Thank you for helping us. We have some members from MEEA, Midwest Energy Efficiency Alliance, just like a senior sphere on the northeast, like the south side of it. Amy is actually the north side of it. There are two groups actually helpful for my region as well. We have group from NTG. I saw Matt recently. He was on a panel as well. He's part of our group. We have a Central Rural Electric Corporation. I think we are a gold member, gold sponsor for this conference as well. We are a co-op. We saw so many clients in rural areas where they are actually providing incentives and some other support as well. We have people for AEE Oklahoma chapter. I will say this is the first group. When I joined energy side of it, this is the first group we actually participated with. With them, actually know many of you guys as well. So I will not give a credit to AEE Oklahoma for their wonderful support for that. Tyson is also part of Lighting Inc. Basically, Tyson is elected president this year, and he's also the Lighting Inc., which is basically helpful for me. We have Exalter, we have Oklahoma Secretary of Energy. Any government facilities basically automatically become IB member for the supports. We have Very Watt and Michael White. I saw him, I think he's somewhere here. He's also from there. We have ES2, you saw a wonderful booth here in the first. Will Gibson is actually the ITAC student. He actually got trained in the ITAC and he got a job in ES, and then he's actually got a job in ES2 in 4 hours. I mean, you can ask him about the 4-hour story, he will tell you. That's what the network is. Like somebody is looking for a job, I just send out to the network saying, this guy is awesome, looking for a guy, you should hire him. And I have a live example here, which is hired in 4 hours. So that's a wonderful things about him. I have Okash, Christina Wedley is there, I think Dave was there, just left I guess. But wonderful opportunity to partner with the stakeholders as well. Oklahoma Commerce, and in the morning you saw Amita talking about Department of Commerce efforts in terms of energy side. We have Department of Environment and Quality, this is actually EPA group. You call in Oklahoma as a DEQ. You also have a K-12 state program, which is basically a government facilities to work with lots of K-12. I think we have a Dr. Jovit view there. We have Oklahoma Manufacturing Alliance, which is very important in East ABP program, which is supporting by that. We also have 820. You heard a few things about solar from Claire. She was also worked for USGA program in the past, so we have a dual partnership there. We have several other key partners or supporters for this conference, like Innovation Foundation, App Center, OAR, the Great Plain Institute, some state of Iowa have one of them, Minnesota, and Job Nation, which is actually supporting this conference as well. Lots of key partners from Department of Energy, like on-site tab. We also have a better plan, better building program, which we collaborate with lots of other advancement as well. So far, if you see from the chart, we have to college partnership, good capacity, promote inclusivity, and develop the skill. That's the 4-pronged strategy we have for Center of Excellence, and that will be basically you see throughout the 5 years, lots of things happening like that. This is our first conference. I think we just had a ribbon cutting 1 month ago, so it's not much time for us to have a feet on the ground, but with your support, we can make it happen. And it's not a one-man job. I need your help and support and collaborations to go on. We are promised to have every month something going on, either a training, a webinar, podcast, or a video, or something, which is something to keep you in a hook and collaboration on the near future. With that, I will ask you guys if you have any questions, or you are wondering about what I can do for Center of Excellence, or how I can partnership with you, or something like that. I'm open for the questions, and then we can have an afternoon session. Any question?
Your presentation was so good. Yeah, it's self-explanatory.
Thank you.
I just want to encourage everybody to provide feedback on this conference and on the sessions and the panels. We want to know what you thought about it, what you'd like to see improved, things like that. We're all about continuous improvement, so please provide the feedback and we'll make it better the next time or the next time after that. Thank you.
Can I hear Jessica, Amber, and Kim? When is the Can you guys come in forward, please? Kyle. Very sorry. So if you see from that corner, we have some kind of a chart showing who is the key people for our Center of Excellence. In the morning, I didn't get a chance to introduce very nicely, but I think I'm doing one more time. Kyle Robinson is our program manager. He's the main guy for Center of Excellence. Right? I'm a director, but again, lots of things happen through him. So if you have any question, anything like that, this is our team, you can connect, right? Jessica Stewart is basically our co-PI, professional development side. I have Amber, I have Kim Moss and Melissa, who put forward this conference in no time, right? So thank you so much for your efforts. So on the ribbon cutting ceremony, actually we announced the conference date before even the ribbon cutting ceremony, right? So it's a fact. And we are nervous about like how we can have even a conference without even like having any four walls around us, right? So first of all, we did a ribbon cutting ceremony. We have, I think 60 people show up for that. And we just announced 4 days ago saying, okay, there is a ribbon cutting ceremony. Still people drive around Oklahoma and come to that facility. Whoever attended, thank you so much for having us and wonderful on that. And then later on when conference planning comes, I think I also want to thank the conference planning committee. I think Kumar is here, Sheila was here, I think Katie Rowland is there. They put lots of efforts on thinking about what will be the panel topic, what will be the happen in the future as well. Right? So basically that put forward so many things on that aspect. So thank you so much, every single one of you. But I will say if you have any question, Kim is the person, point of connection. She is a project coordinator for this grant. So anything you need or you want to create some training, you want to have something like that, she can connect you with lots of things. Kim doesn't like to talk, but I will purposely give her a speaker to say a few things about it.
Yeah, I had no clue he was going to hand me the microphone. So I have been at this for a total of 3 months. Prior to that, I spent 22 years in human resources. So I'm really stepping outside of my comfort zone with this. But I'm super passionate about it. I love what Dr. Vora is doing. And if you need anything, workshops, conferences, any ideas you have, contact me and we will get it going.
So with that, let's start the afternoon session. I will give it to Jessica.
Thank you, Dr. Vora. We will have a quick break before our next session starts, so feel free to get up and get around a little bit, and then we'll start our session.